You know, I want to ask you about this story that broke over the weekend, Barack Obama resigning from his church. We're getting a lot of emails about this. Let me just set the scene for our viewers. There was a guest pastor at the Trinity Church where Barack Obama is a member who made some inflammatory comments from the pulpit invoking race against Hillary Clinton. And over the weekend, Barack Obama resigned from his church, and he's saying in response to that, but also in response to all the media scrutiny that his church has received since the Reverend Wright situation erupted. Well, now we have people emailing us, asking us a lot of questions about our coverage in this. And Chris, why don't you pull up the latest one?
This one's from John in Wisconsin. Yep. Mika, where does Hillary Clinton go to church? Where does John McCain go to church? I want you to start talking about that, because when you do, I guarantee you will find controversial stuff at both of their churches. Until you start talking about where the other candidates go to church and the philosophy of those churches, would you just stop with the Barack stuff?
Well, okay. First of all, I think we covered the Hagee situation as much. The Reverend Wright situation injected itself into the news cycle, for sure. But having said that, don't you think that there is a difference, or is there not, especially given the fact that he resigned from his church?
Well, number one, there will be those who say, and not all of them Republican, that he resigned from his church too late, that he should have done it right off the bat. Look, politics is not fair. Former President Kennedy, the late President Kennedy, said life is not fair. Politics is not fair. I'm not arguing that this is fair. What one must look at when you're covering politics is how does it play? And there's no question this church issue has been very damaging to Barack Obama. Now, whether he can reduce that or not is a major question coming up for November. No question about it. Now, I think it's fair to say, well, what about John McCain and some of the preachers that have endorsed him and things that they have said, saying God punished New Orleans with Katrina and those kinds of things?
Right.
In a strict fairness, there's a lot to these arguments you're getting from the emails. And by the way, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these emails were orchestrated.
Yeah, we get a sometimes.
But it's fair to raise the question. But how does it play? The damage has been done for Barack Obama on the church issue, starting with Reverend Wright, then going to this most recent case. Now he's resigning from the church. It's going to be an issue. I was interested to hear my friend Tim Russett say earlier that, like it or not, fair or not, it's going to be an issue. It's going to be used against Obama, and it will be more effective against him than anything anybody says about McCain's supporters. Hillary Clinton has gotten a pass on this, and I think one reason is that nobody's turned up anything controversial about her church affiliations, and she apparently has been at least a fairly regular churchgoer.
Yeah, no, and this pastor lashed out at her, invoking race, and this is a guest pastor at his church, and ultimately there are financial ties between Barack Obama and this guy. He's donated to Obama's campaign, so Obama has pushed earmarks towards his church. There are questions here. I think they're legitimate ones to ask, and I don't mind asking them at all, no matter what the emailer says, but we do appreciate the emails. So